What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Thursday, January 7th. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. Finally, let me know in the comments section who are your favorite plays on DK for tonight's slate. We're rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Bruce Brown, Jarrett Culver, Derek Jones Jr., Josh Richardson, and JUSUF NURKIC. Who will be the top 5 plays, the favorites on DK tonight? It's time to find out. First up, we're going to the big man, 9,500 center eligibility, Joel Embiid, projected for 48 fantasy points, and you're looking for 55. Hits that goal 25% of the time. He's in the optimal 21% of the time. You know what you're getting out of Embiid. 34 minutes, 30-plus usage, 25 and 11 baseline projection. It's a great spot for Embiid. It's a pace-up matchup. Their defense, the Nets that is, not very good. It's possible we see a little bit more DeAndre Jordan in this spot, but we just saw Jarrett Allen take it to Rudy Gobert, another monstrous center body, so maybe they do go straight to Jarrett Allen. I wouldn't be mad about it. I had a lot last time. I'm going to probably do that again this time. Embiid's a 1.45 fantasy point per minute guy. I'm actually taking 0.05 of a point off in this spot because the usage has been down a little bit so far this year. Even saying that, that's enough to get Joel Embiid to the number 5 spot. So I think that there is certainly some upside in his ranking too. Get Joel Embiid. He looks great tonight against Brooklyn. MALIK BEASLEY doing double duty on the FanDuel video as well. Look around for that link, by the way. Number 4, BEASLEY, shooting guard eligibility, 6,100, projected for 33 fantasy points. You're looking for 43 fantasy points. Now, he doesn't do that all that frequently, 12% of the time, but the price allows you to get other things. He's in the optimal 25% of the time. 34 minutes, 22% usage, 19 points, 5.5 boards, doesn't do much in the way of facilitation. Slight pace-up spot against Portland. Ultimately, you're getting a guy that's perfect for a balanced lineup construction. 6,100, just not a price tag that I'm worried about. He's a 0.87 fantasy point per minute guy normally. I'm a bit higher than that. His role has changed. This is not the same BEASLEY that got most of his statistics through Denver. The usage rate is up, so I think he's more like a 0.97 guy. And if that's the case, Malik Beasley is a guy that you should be rostering. You can see that we took a step up in tier. Malik Beasley, 25% in the optimal, Embiid 21. So there's a line in the sand. You want to get to Beasley. He's on a little bit of a different island than the guys below him. Spoiler alert, the number 1 contender from FanDuel is here. Number 3, Damian Lillard, 9,300 point guard eligibility, 48-point fantasy projection, 54.5 point GPP goal. He does the goal 27% of the time. He's in the optimal 25% of the time. 36 points, 30% usage, 28 and 8 as a baseline. 5 boards too. He's doing a little bit of everything. Pace up spot against Minnesota. Minnesota is basically the worst defense in the league. I could quibble with the bottom couple teams, but there's nothing to be had here, and it's not getting better anytime soon. 1.2 fantasy point per minute as the baseline rate. I'm bumping him up here because of defensive matchups and because of pace. It's got to be Damian Lillard today, guys. He looks like a fantastic play. And at 9,300, it's not even that problematic of a price tag. This feels great. Damian Lillard is going to break out at some point in time this season. He's Damian Lillard. I'm expecting a Steph-type game. I think I said this in the last ConTENders video. It's going to happen, and I'm expecting it to happen tonight against Minnesota. At number 2, I'm going Andre Drummond, center eligibility, 8,400, projected for 46 fantasy points. You're looking for 51. 29% of the time he hits that goal. 31% of the time, you can see we took a big step up. He's in the optimal lineup. Drummond's just a completely different player in Cleveland. 32 minutes, 30% usage, and a baseline projection. Wait for it. 18 points, 14.4 rebounds. You can still get 3.5 stocks as well. Minnesota, by Minnesota, I mean Memphis. Too many M teams. Memphis, not a team I'm all that worried about right now. They're missing too many guys. Their 2 best players aren't healthy. That's a problem. Slight pace up spot for Cleveland. Drummond has the ability to do whatever he wants for this team. Cleveland shorthanded, still no Kevin Love, still no Darius Garland. All the shots are there for Drummond. if he's having a particularly efficient offensive day, there's nothing to stop him from going like 26 and 18. He can put up crazy stats. If he's grabbing a couple blocks too, look out. Andre Drummond, number 2, a very different tier, up from the 25% rate on Damian Lillard. So who's number 1? Before we get to that number 1 player, one last reminder, hit the thumbs up like that. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and then follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. You want these sim result updates? I'm on live before lock tonight at 6:30, so I will be posting them right before we go live. And the number 1 contender for today, Juancho Hernangomez, 4,400, power forward eligibility, 27-point fantasy projection. You're looking for 37. Now, he does that 12% of the time, but because of his price, he is in the optimal 35% of the time. 32 minutes. Newly minted starter. Keep your eye on it. Minnesota can randomize their starters at this point, but I'm assuming he starts. 16% usage, 11.5 points, 8 boards. Pedestrian numbers, generally speaking. We're making a minutes play at 4,400. That's all this is. He's a 0.8 fantasy point per minute guy. I'm projecting him a little bit more like 0.85, expecting a slightly bigger role. But for right now, value is relatively limited on this slate, and Hernangomez is the clear best value option for right now. You see, we took another step above Andre Drummond. He's 10% higher than Damian Lillard at the 3 spot. This one's a no-brainer. As long as Juancho Hernangomez is starting, you should be rostering him on DraftKings, and he is a cash game lock. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Thursday, January 7th. I'm on the NBA Strategy Show this morning. I'm on NBA Live Before Lock tonight. Check out both shows. It helps my ego out tremendously. We'll be back for the final edition this week of the Contenders tomorrow morning, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Good luck tonight, and I'll talk to you again in the morning.